طيب بسم الله. تفضل أسامة. Why did he say what?
This one.
طيب. Question says, why did he say this one? There's several different possibilities. One possibility is that just a way of talking. This one has kada. Another possibility, I said possibility, I'm not saying this decisively at all, so no one quote me saying that I am. Possibly, Allah Alam, it may have been an issue with regards to what was going on and the different strife among the Sahaba and Ali radiallahu anhu and Muawiyah and so on and so forth. Allahu Alam. The reason why I say possibly, because there are other narrations from other companions in which they mention or spoke about a person and they mentioned them indirectly. It was Fulan, Abu Bakr, this one, and another. And it was Ali. And he may not have mentioned him because of what was going on. Everybody understand this? With regards to the murder and assassination of Uthman radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and some of the Sahaba that were angry and that were upset and felt a way or another with regards to seeking the retribution of Uthman's blood. And of Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu clearly commanded the Sahaba to organize themselves. Muslims have to unify, it has to be leadership. You can't just go around in chaos. There has to be and the Prophet ﷺ clearly mentioning in the hadith, or it's quoted in hadith to Ammar, تَقْتُلُكَ الْفِئَةُ الْبَاغِيَةُ. Wallahu a'lam. That's in brief. طيب, any other questions? If not, we're going to stop, inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan. Are there any questions from online? If not, we'll stop right now.
Adnan Aslam from New York, is it mandatory for you to make up qada for all the prayers that you have missed since puberty? Example, you know what's proper and you have to pray, but you don't become pious and start praying till 15. You have to make up the years of prayers you missed.
The question is regarding making up missed prayers because of sinfulness, being astray, being misguided, not being a Muslim, whatever the case may be. It depends on how many prayers you miss. She said 15 years old. So a person becomes enlightened at 15. It depends on when you reach puberty. You may have just reached puberty and it's not that many prayers that you have to make up. Make them up. But if you're 30 years old and I was in puberty at 12 or 11 or 13, that's a clear hardship, and it may be a reason why a person not making tawbah and not going back to Allah because so many missed prayers. And the shaitan said, there's no purpose of you making them up. Khalas. So some of the ulama of Islam, they say, is that you don't have to make them up for that reason, let alone the fact that if a person intentionally leaves off a prayer, there's no point in making it up later on. So what Shaykh Ibn Uthaymeen rahimahullah ta'ala explains. Wallahu alam. Hold on.
Sure, I have a follow-up question from yesterday. So if let's say all of us, okay, let's say there are a bunch of teams that they have to pay like a fee to in this
register.
Case, to register their team
Clear.
to be able to compete. And I guess the winner takes either some of the money from that money that they collected, or
Clear.
they give their own, let's say their own money from their own pocket, like the organizers. In this case.
Clear, crystal clear. Crystal clear. With regards to the concept of maisir, and qimar, gambling, and sports and things like this. My opinion, wallahu alam, is that if it's a registration fee, then that's one thing. A registration fee doesn't necessarily mean that it's gambling, or even in a bank, or you send money, you wire money. It's haram to use Western Union, you can't do this. You have to pay. You see what I'm saying to you? There's a referee, they're renting a gym, their uniforms, different things, people announcing, keeping statistics. Things cost money. As we say, cash what? It rules. Everybody understand? This is a reality of life. So the registration fee doesn't necessarily mean that it's gambling. And the same applies to a bank, a processing fee. Now, are they trying to dupe you? It's actual riba, but they call it a processing fee? That's a different story. But there's a certain amount of things that just cost. Everybody understand this? As far as there being a lot or a prize or an amount of money that's received for the winning team, then it all depends. It all depends how much the money is. How much is the collective registration fee, or the actual sponsors and patrons that are funding everything and give the money to the winning team? It doesn't mean that it's gambling. For example, me and Abu Saeed and Usama, we're organizing the Van Wyck Basketball League. Nah? We have jerseys, we have the courts. It's a bunch of stuff that we have to what? Pay for and organize. Everybody understand this? So we charge a basic registration fee. And that money that you pay for your registration is only for what? Registration. That's it. To make sure that we're not wasting our time, everybody gets what they need. That's it, class. Then we have Sheikh Khan, and Brother Talib. Two wealthy brothers. We go to them. This is our plan. We have such and such amount of brothers playing basketball. We want you to donate. They say, no problem. So they donate, for example, $10,000, مثلا, out of their pockets. Everybody understand this? We have a grand feast for all of the teams at the end of the tournament. Everybody gets to eat lamb and rice. And we also give trophies and a prize to the winning team. Has nothing to do with gambling or riba or aklu amwal an-nas bil batil. They donated that money. Everybody understand? And it had nothing to do with the what? Registration what? Fee. In most cases, me, Abu Saeed, and Osama are losing money by doing this. The registration fee is nothing more than just to help out with the many expenses. And oftentimes people, they become short-sighted and they don't realize how much things actually cost. Do you know how much money it costs for this basketball camp? Do you know how much money it costs for this weekend program at the masjid? I have 6 teachers teaching Quran, teaching these kids. It costs money. Do you know how much it costs? They say, oh, you're taking money for classes. You're doing. You know how much money it costs for me to drive from one state to the next? How much money I would say? Gas, tolls, food, tea. This small compensation or honorarium that you give me is what? Swallowed up just in the what? Traveling expenses. Period. You can't even get a decent food without a decent meal without a certain amount of money. So it doesn't not always about that. Everybody clear on this? And this is very important for us to critically understand this. Things cost. And oftentimes people, they criticize people. They say things about people who run masjids, who do this, and they don't have an idea and a clue on the bills and expenses of the masjid or the place. Where is the money going? You don't know how much the electric bill is, water bill is, heat. You have no idea how much it costs to run what? Certain things. Wallahu alam. Snacks, huh? Fadal.
Sometimes when you're praying behind the imam, you're not able to recite the Surah Fatiha quickly enough, and he goes to the book. In that situation, what do you do?
The people of knowledge who hold the view that you have to recite the Fatiha behind the imam when the prayer is recited out loud, Fajr, Maghrib, Asr, Isha, those ulama who hold that view, they say that in this instance, or in this situation, tasqut, you're exempt from reciting it, even though it's a pillar of the salah. If you have no time to recite the Fatiha and imam makes ruku', the following of the imam takes precedence over reciting the Fatiha. Those ulama say that you have to recite the Fatiha behind the imam when he's reciting out loud. In this situation, this sticky situation clearly proves the strength of the view that says that you should not recite behind the imam when he's reciting out loud, because of things like this. And oftentimes people have to rush to recite the Fatiha, or recite the Fatiha before the imam, or when the imam takes a break, his break isn't long enough. What's the purpose of you rushing the Fatiha? And then he recites starting the Quran. How can you listen to the Quran and recite? Clearly proving that when the imam is reciting, you should do what? Silent and listen. Allahu A'lam. Fadal.
SA from Oakland, California. I would like to know if it is permissible to own a marijuana dispensary.
Question is owning a marijuana dispensary. We've talked about this before. We've explained this in detail before. Is that marijuana is of different types. It's not just one type. They have different strands, different types, different names with different purposes. Now, it's into a science. Whether you like it or not, agree with it or not, is a science. Everybody that takes some type of marijuana or THC or this type of oil or so on and so forth, CBD, whatever they call it, it doesn't mean it's for intoxication. Nor does it mean that you're going to get high and you're going to get twisted and bent. It doesn't necessarily mean that. There's different levels, just like there's levels of medicine. There's levels of pills. There's levels of what? Anesthesia, correct? Depending on the surgery, depending on the problem. Everybody understand it? So at the end of the day, my humble opinion, wallahu alam, is my humble opinion, which I feel I'm entitled to have my own humble opinion. I'm not saying this or not. My humble opinion is that if it's scientifically and responsibly handled, through experts of medicine and of knowledge, then the administering of medicinal marijuana is no different than other types of medicine. Wallahu alam. That doesn't mean you can go out and what? Smoke a Philly. Philly's blunt. Or split. Doesn't that, we didn't say that. Everybody clear on this or not? There's certain pills that get you what? As we say, hide in a pigeon. Walayadu billah. That's my view. It's detailed and it depends on how it's administered. At the end of the day, if it's permissible, then there's nothing wrong with buying it and selling it and a Muslim owning it. Just like anything else. Can a Muslim be a photographer? Can a Muslim be this? If it's lawful, then it's what? وَأَحَلَّ اللَّهُ الْبَيْعَ وَحَرَّمَ الرِّبَا. Everybody understand this? If it's permissible to buy and sell, then it's also permissible for a Muslim to have a business in it. However, people saying bad things about you, people being short-sighted, or people just believing that it's haram, there's nothing wrong with that. Somebody says, no, it's all haram. You can't have no type of medicinal marijuana, period. Okay, that's fine. You have to look at your honor. You have to look at your what? Your honor. You may be in a place in which people don't agree with what I said, which is fine. Or they may agree with it in themselves. They know it's the truth, but they're not what? They're not ready for it. They're not what? They're not ready for it. Being real. The concept of medicinal marijuana. No different than a what? 500 what? Milligram or even bigger than that. Everybody clear on this? That destroys your kidney, your liver, makes your stomach hurt, makes you addicted to the pills. Everybody understand this? Habit forming and the list goes on. They may not be ready for that. So if you own that place as a Muslim, there may be means of your honor being attacked and slandered. And it may be something that you yourself are not what? Ready for. So perhaps it's best for you to be discreet. Wallahu alam.
California. Assalamu alaikum. What is the tafsir on chapter 4, verse 137? Indeed, those who have believed, then disbelieved, then believed, then disbelieved, and then increased in disbelief, never will Allah forgive them, nor will He guide them to a way.
Wa alaikum salam. Inshallah ta'ala, we'll answer this question. Tomorrow's Thursday, correct?
Yes.
Tomorrow's Q&A session. I'm going to stop here for the iqama.